Hey guys, welcome to Arvin's review, and in today's video we'll be doing the full review of the Sony IER Z1R IEM monitor. This is not to be mistaken for the headphone, which is also named the IER Z1R, and this is what the IER Z1R look like. The current retail price of the Sony IER Z1R stands at $2,000 US. For those of you in Hong Kong, the retail price is 14,000 Hong Kong dollars. If you're really interested, the shop is able to offer it at a price of 11,500, and it still remains as the flagship with the Just Ear as well. But the Just Ear slightly different because that comes in custom version only, and you're able to select which sound signature you would like when you actually do that. So the Sony IER Z1R looks fantastic. This is a full review. Let's talk about spec wise first. The Sony IER Z1R contains 3 drivers, and I must say that this IEM monitor is also an end game similar to the V14s that I did in my last video. As an audiophile, we mostly have several end games. My friend also has this as well. He also considers his end game as well. He's got 4 end games. The Sony IER Z1R contains 3 drivers. There is one 12mm dynamic driver. There's a 5mm dynamic driver which acts as a super tweeter, so you can hear all the highs, as I recall. And there's also a BA driver which is also made by Sony. So looking at the insides of the Sony IER Z1R, here is roughly what it details on the Hong Kong website. So original price is 14,000, but as I said, 11,500 is what the street price is if you ask around. Here we have a zirconia alloy outer housing, which is supposed to be scratch proof, and I would agree. It is very heavy, by the way. You do definitely need to find a suitable fit to make sure that it stays in your ear. Next we have a 5mm dynamic driver which acts as a super tweeter. We have the BA, which is also developed by Sony. This is a customized version of their ones. Inside here we have magnesium inner housing, and this is the magnesium dome aluminum coated LCPH 12mm dynamic driver. Cable wise or spec wise, things to know about this IEM monitor. Here everything with a frequency response up to 100 kHz. The super tweeter in the IER Z1R was developed to deliver ultra high frequency extension with a new aluminum coated LCP diaphragm and external magnetic circuits. Its ultra fast response faithfully follows the fast dynamic transients of music, which provides you with a live concert hall atmosphere. And I totally agree that the fact that it does give you that atmosphere when you actually listen to it, providing you give it the correct gear to test it with or use it with. Unboxing was fantastic, and definitely a premium product, one that actually makes you feel that you've purchased something special. I'm sure for those who are married or have girlfriend, if you show this earrings or this IEM monitor to your other half, I'm sure they will be jealous that your earrings is much better than her ones. But then they also have a bit of weights. First thing to note, when you actually or have the privilege or have the access to test these, things that you definitely need to know as to fully make sure test this properly. The ear tips, definitely a good selection of ear tips is provided. You should definitely, I went for large when I tried it first. Ideally not large, not extra large, something small that makes it more comfortable. Small, medium to small size. That is more ideally to having it sit in your ear so that it doesn't fall off. When I used large, I thought that was comfortable, but not really. It still falls out. With the small size or medium size, or between halfway, definitely that is what is ideal as to make it comfortable. These are quite heavy, so that is the ideal that you need to find suitable ear tips that actually stay in your ear. And once you've got that comfort and that's secure closure within your ears to the IEM monitors, that is the ideal listening position as to enjoy these IEM monitors. As I said, the unboxing was fantastic. It does feel premium. 2 selections of e-tips. We have the fantastic case, which, as I said, looks like, are you ready? You know, you can really propose to someone with with this box. Now, in regards to the cables, it comes with 2 cables. There is probably no need to buy another cable. So in the package, it already comes with some fantastic cables. That in the box, some INI monitors might require you to buy another cable extra. I mean, for instance, my 64 audio A18s, which retails for 3,000 US dollars, that came with a cheap cable. But here, cable it comes with in standard. It's thick, quite flexible, can wrap around your ears without any discomfort. Maybe some people might find it a bit too thick, but I think since it's quite soft and flexible, it does its job. This is the 3.5mm cable, which comes in the box already, standard. Obviously, there's also a 4.4mm one, so that it pairs with their Sony players, because that is what Sony uses, the 4.4mm ones. As I said, it's the same cable, but it's just the fact the connector is different. Connection wise or unplugging wise is quite ideal because you have a place to hold it here and you can pull it out, and this is MMCX. This is what the connector looks like, and yes, it is zirconium material, so, and it's at the moment I'm finding it doesn't scratch at all, and yes, it's very good. Made in Japan, of course. Obviously, since it comes with 2 nice cables, so there's no need to upgrade. But for me, since I'm using 8K, I obviously need a 2.5mm. This is my Nobunaga Labs that I used to have, and I mostly use this for my Shure 846 when I had it. I've kept the cable, of course, mainly because I can use it if I purchase MMCX IEMs. So that's what I use when I use the 8K. There's actually things coming my way. For those who are interested, Legacy 9 is ordered, is coming. It will take a bit of time. I went for the wood version, but I've not told you which color. There's other IEMs coming my way. There's other accessories coming my way, so stay tuned on this channel. Right. The EZ1R. In order to fully test this, you need to definitely give it some power or source that drives these INI monitor. If you provide a source that doesn't drive this, then obviously the sound quality coming from it will be just mediocre. So what kind of sound source do I recommend? Well, phone is, I guess, okay, but definitely not enough power. Maybe if it's the LG ones where there's an amp, yes, slightly better. And I'm just saying slightly better, by the way. If you have the 8K, for instance, the SP1000, the stainless steel one, which I've got somewhere, but I'm not going to bring it out. The stainless steel version of the SP1000 is okay. I would say below mediocre, sound quality wise. I need to use it at 80 as to appreciate it, and that's at below the halfway area. If I used it with the Sony WM1EZ, which is the gold brick, as we call it in Hong Kong, that drives it much better using the balance cable. I would probably say with 65 volume is enough to drive it at the middle stage. If you were to use the SP2000, slightly better, but still at 80. So I would say you're at around the middle area right now of getting the potential of what these INI monitors can bring. If you want a bit more and definitely feel all that supreme audio, music and sound coming from this INI monitor, then I would say it does really need something that can really drive these INI monitors. I would say many people who've got this know that they definitely need a good power source as to really feed into these INI monitors, and I've used it with the Hugo 2s. The Hugo 2s, if I were to use this, remember the red light is the lowest that it goes to. Red light, not good enough. The next level up, I think it's white or something like that. So as long as the color changes from red to the next level, that is enough to drive it. And that is when sweet sounds of heaven come breaking into your ears, and you're actually able to feel the supreme power that this INI monitor can bring. We're going to come to sound now, which is the most important thing. Yes, this is an end game. This is another end game. There is, as we know, many audiophiles will have several end games. This is one of my end games. So was the V-Audio V14. My friend also has considered this as his end game as well. Sound, superb, wide, expansive soundstage. One that is definitely much better than the other INE monitors I've ever listened to. You can definitely hear their instrument separation, the layering, the deep impactful bass that it provides. It's not boomy bass, it's impactful bass that gives you that pleasure of what's happening. As I said, when you give it enough power, you're going to definitely hear that expansive wide soundstage of what this driver can bring. And remember, it's that 12mm driver that brings that sub bass and bass area. I would say, as I mentioned in my unboxing video, this is the closest that you will probably come to being an open back headphone. And remember, this is an INE monitor that we're talking about, so that is roughly what this is comparable to. Soundstage, as I said, superb, awesome. The trebles with that 5mm dynamic super tweeter is giving you details that you've never heard before. Treble is one of the best I've heard due to the fact of the 5mm dynamic driver. It is well extended, smooth with no peaks or dips throughout, giving you that enough energy and sparkle. In regards to sound, definitely awesome. Vocals, you can hear clear detail of what's happening. This is actually a V-shaped INE monitor, so where the bass is more predominant and also the trebles and highs are more predominant. Definitely one that I do recommend. I mean, as I said, some people hate it. The only reason I presume they hate it is because they've not really fully tested it with the right power source. It does require that right power source. Definitely instrument separation is another level, I would say. V14 is a different beast. This is probably the ultimate or the supreme of endgame of endgames for now. Hopefully there's more INE monitors coming our way that even beats this, and if possible, Chi-Fi World, maybe at a good reasonable price. But at the $2,000 price right now, and you're getting this endgame, and you're getting all the cables, the super packaging, then this is definitely one that I would recommend. I'm sure there's other audiophiles out there on YouTube who also recommend this. I'm sure you can find them out on YouTube. Anyway, this is the Sony IER Z1R INE monitor. Endgame for sure. Another endgame. We mostly have several endgames. So if you have a shop near you, you might want to go and have a try. And one that really needs suitable fits. That's the most important first. Once you've got the fits done, you need the power source. After that, enough power source, then you can securely enjoy the sound that this brings. Hopefully there should be another flagship coming from Sony. As I said, this is from 2018, their flagship. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this video. There's more items coming, and stay safe and see you again soon.